She's super paranoid right now. Imagine that. It is going to be a 24.
To listen at the door.
Yep.
Okay, so there's nothing at the door, and the door is not trapped. You hear absolutely no sound from the other side. Dead silence.
Locked?
It isn't locked.
Okay.
Guys, I don't mean to interrupt, but RDWB has just gone live.
Yeah, I just realised I hadn't started the broadcast, so just did it now.
Oh no.
Also, why do you have notifications turned on for me, Liam? Jesus.
I don't know. I think
That
it
must
just
be
popped
so
up.
annoying every Friday and Sunday.
I honestly, I just noticed it just now. I don't think I've ever seen it any other time.
Yeah, well,
It's really
get off
bizarre.
YouTube and get on with the game, please.
I'm not on YouTube. It just popped up on my little diddly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mortimer didn't do anything. He was just he's watching the flames burn.
Yeah.
I believe it is safe and unlocked. Do you want to take a stealthy approach or continue the noisy approach?
I think we should be much more careful now that we know that there are actual other people down here
I mean, I'd just
besides
like to
the
say
undead.
it's a door, and you guys have been smashing a altar to pieces. Someone's on the other side of that door. They know you're here.
Well, yeah, for sure, but that doesn't mean we have to continue on going.
True. I'm just measuring your expectations.
How about you let us play the way we want to play, there, DM?
There was a little bit of a smile to what I suggested. Like, after being noisy, do you want to be quiet again? I mean, it could be that we've got away with it and we should advance quietly, or we could send Rannoch screaming through the corridors.
Oh, that's
could do
way more
that.
fun.
I mean, I've done that before.
They call
Maybe
it
we
Red
go
Hot Corridor
frightened.
Screamer.
Rannoch corridor screamer.
Well, I mean, it did work. I'm still alive, so.
Is this true?
Everyone back away, and perhaps I could just gently open the door, and we could see if there is anything on the other side.
You know what
Waiting
you
to
should
step
do
us.
after you open the door? You should throw, Rock.
Give it 10 seconds, and then you can throw your rock, Rannoch.
Okay.
Cool. So I get everyone on either side of the door, and I'm just gonna kind of let it slide open and see if anyone shoots a crossbow through it or whatever.
Okay. You're greeted by dead silence and
Hey, some of us resemble that remark.
dead silence. No, you're greeted by dead silence and like a pitch black room. But as you look inside, you see it's another one of those small kind of halfway house rooms, like you found a few rooms back on the other side. There's a small kind of fire pit in the middle with some sort of stools and benches around it. You can see in this, it's a very small kind of round room, and on the left, as you look at it, there's a door, and straight ahead of you, there's a door.
Does it look like people occupied this room recently and have left?
It does, actually. There's the ashes of a fire burning. There's 2 bedrolls laid out, and like a few kind of half-eaten plates of food. Well, 2 half-eaten plates of food.
Does it look recently abandoned?
Yeah, very recently. Like the fire is still smoldering.
I suppose they must have heard us.
Where do you suppose they ran off to?
Further in. Do either of the doors look recently disturbed?
Nope. Not as far as you can tell. Like they're both closed. Just very old wooden doors with like iron banding across the middle.
Interesting that they didn't go help their fellows.
I was thinking something very similar.
Like when I
There's
say
loyalty?
when I say the fire's still smoldering, like it's not a flame. It's, you know, it could have gone out an hour ago, sort of thing.
Okay.
Like it's still smoking and smoldering, but it's not actually a flame.
Can I? This is random. Can I do a survival check to see how long the flame's been out?
Of course.
21.
You reckon about half an hour to an hour, and you don't get the impression that the campsite was left in any particular hurry.
Half an hour to an hour. It doesn't seem like they left in any particular hurry.
Ah.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Maybe they're already gone then.
That would be my assumption as well.
We might not have lost the element of surprise. Maybe. Which door? Left? Or forward?
Can we search the bedrolls real quick, just for any kind of... If they didn't leave in a hurry, there might have been something...
Yeah, sure. Give me an investigation check.
Oh, I'm aces at those.
Do you want me to help?
Yeah, how about... Yeah.
I'll give you advantage, cool.
Thank you.
I also throw, if they've got like any turkey legs or something, I'll throw that to Rannoch.
Yeah, there's actually a good deal of rations. Like, there's a crate that seems to have rations for like a good month.
Oh.
14.
14?
Yes.
You don't find anything in the bedrolls, except in one of them you do see there's like these small black hairs all inside it, immediately reminiscent of the hairs on the cloak.
How many bedrolls are there?
2.
2? And she'll... So this one... She'll kind of like lean over and give it like a little sniff the way she saw Avel doing. She's like, I think this one might have been the cloak wearers. And she points to like the little hairs. So it could be that the occupants of this room were the ones that were in the other.
Very likely, potentially. That's a bit of a letdown. 2 cultists in a cult? That's a shame. Looks like they were going to be here for a while, though. And he's like probably shoving just spare rations into Rannoch's backpack because he knows. Like,
Oh no, I can
he's just
fit a little bit
constantly
more.
hungry.
1 second. Yep, there we go.
He's like a mum packing his son's lunch.
Yeah, basically.
Perhaps they were
just
just sent here to, scout out the way for more, light the fires.
There aren't any like papers or missives or anything like that?
No, not with the investigation checks you've rolled. You find nothing.
Okay.
It would appear these two were lower on the cult's food chain.
Perhaps.
It doesn't mean that they're the only ones here, though.
They didn't... No, I'd hoped with all of the dead rising and such that I'm sure it couldn't have just been them and this one icon.
It's probably more further in. Because we found signs of them at the other end. I mean, granted, they were old signs, but we found signs of them on the other end. Could be that they're just, guarding this entrance.
Perhaps. That makes more sense.
So I guess let's keep going.
Left or forward?
Forward.
Left.
Let's have a little look down both.
Okay.
Let's just peek down the left one first.
Are you just opening the door?
Peek down the left one? Yeah. Well, I'll have a look at for safety reasons, I guess. 12?
Okay.
For
You,
traps and things, sorry?
Yeah, you don't see any traps of any kind. The door is locked.
Very well.
What is it
Check.
made out of?
The door is wood, but with like iron bandings for strength.
I got a natural 20 to check the other door for traps.
Okay, that door is trapped. You can see these same kind of mechanics that they had for the, if you remember, the scythe trap on the other side. Where there was a scythe in the ceiling that would swing down to whoever opened the door. You see the same exact setup for that.
Also locked.
Yes, sorry.
I will regale the group. This one seems trapped with the ceiling scythe we've come to know and love. Possibly heads further down. This other one is not so trapped. So presumably less important. The one to the left. Maybe we go there first, just to check our...
Cover our bases.
Yeah.
I'm
Need
okay
me to
with that.
smash down door?
If you like. I don't think you should be hurt. He'll step and allow Rannoch to do his thing.
The left one first, is this?
Yes, the non-trapped one.
Okay.
Presuming is less important.
Make me a strength check then. Athletics, maybe, if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna take like a couple practice swings, not like full bore, but just kind of line up the smash.
No, make me an
And
attack roll
that
then.
is gonna be. Oh, okay. So that will be a 16.
16. Give me some of that damage, boy.
All right. That is going to be 12 points of damage.
Okay. You crash into the door and sever straight through the iron bands, and the rest of the door just crumbles inwards. Make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ooh, that I can do. Oh, maybe not. Well, it's a 13.
It's a fail, I'm afraid. You hear the sound of smashing glass as the door crumples, and this bright green noxious gas just swells up in the corridor. I'll say for fun, who was standing directly behind Rannoch? I'll let you decide between yourselves.
I can take that.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing
I
it
would
was
do.
probably...
Okay. Con save from everyone who thinks there would be close then.
Oh, okay. I just because I stepped aside for him to do it.
Yeah,
it
that
was
makes sense to me.
I actually natural 20'd again. What is
Boom.
this?
Nice. That is a 14 plus 7 for 21.
Shite. Okay, so Rannoch, you take 18 points of poison damage. Tanith and Aval, you guys take 9 each.
As the gas clears, what
so
was the source?
it fades pretty quickly. And like looking around, you see that essentially what they'd done was just strap a glass bottle that had two kind of separate sections in the middle. And so the idea was, and you see like on the inside wall of the corridor that the door would open, there's a spike. And so when you would open the door normally, the glass would hit the spike, the mixture would combine, but as Rannoch smashed it down, that happened anyway. You don't think, you feel bad obviously for missing the trap, but there's not really much way to tell on this side of the door.
Sure.
Though you reckon, now that you've seen that, maybe if you sort of were able to peer through the cracks, you know roughly where it might be to look for the hint of glass on the other side, potentially.
So he coughs.
It's like
That's,
mustard gas, like
a new one.
very spicy, yeah, and you just like can't stop coughing, and it makes it hard to breathe.
I. Right. Keep an eye out.
It can happen to anyone.
I mean, it's a spike in a glass jar on the other side that. Yeah. You know what I need?
Oh,
I
there
need
was a
like
glass jar. I was worried it was me from all those intestines I ate. Good, good.
Oh god.
Acid reflux.
Hmm. Uh. I. Wonder if I could get a drill. You know, like a hand drill. Maybe I could drill a looking hole through some of these doors. No, oh, when we get to the surface, it's fine.
Or a mirror, maybe.
Or a mirror under it. Yeah. In fact, do I have one?
You should have one in your thieves' tools.
Yeah. I know. We'll keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out.
Fantastic.
Oh. What is revealed beyond the smog?
Good question, sir. So as the smoke clears very quickly, it's quite dense, so it just sinks to the floor. You see a sort of fairly rocky, rough, cavernous corridor before you. It's very short though, and it ends in a small kind of circular section with a set of spiral stairs leading down.
Oh. Before we go
This ringing
down
a
to
bell
the...
for me. I remember you said something about something.
Yes.
I don't know if this rings.
You would know vaguely from what you remember. This is the way to the terminus.
This is the way to the terminus. The labyrinth.
What's the
Oh,
terminus?
is that like a maze?
As I recall.
Yeah. So
How
Mortimer
many
had
filled
told
with
you.
creatures?
Mortimer had told you of two obstacles coming up that he remembers. One was the terminus, which was a giant maze, and one was the fall.
Oh. Do we go the other way for a little bit?
Yeah, to see what's there before we venture into something called the terminus.
Mm-hmm.
I have a funny feeling I know what might be on the other side of that door.
Care to elaborate?
The fall. There are two locations I knew of, and there are two doors here before us. Perhaps the fall comes after the terminus, I'm not entirely sure.
What was the fall again?
I believe it was a pit from which there is no escape.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
That about right, Rob? Pit with no escape?
I'm just getting the message that I sent you to tell you what it was. Yeah, you know, it's a vertical tunnel down that has no way to climb it that you know of.
So essentially a pit with no escape. There could be more at the bottom, but we would have to be certain that there was something at the bottom before going down, because there is no way back. As such, a labyrinth might be more advantageous, since we know that there is a way out.
Hate mazes.
Let's try the other door right now, and then we'll deal with the maze when we come to it.
We'll cross that maze when we come to it.
Yeah. Can I attempt a disarm of scythe trap?
Of course.
Guidance.
I'll say you have advantage as well because you've
Oh,
jumped from before.
kind. He was going to reach out for guidance after the last trap, so yeah, he probably stretch out his hand to you, and you can. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's contact, but
Yeah, it is. So yeah, reach out
Okay.
the hand and she'll say hers over yours for a moment to give you guidance.
sure. Thank you. And the guidance. And the thieves' tools. That is 22 in total.
22. Okay, so you manage no problem to render the scythe trap harmless, and it just kind of the scythe just kind of hangs limply down from a concealed slot in the ceiling.
Now, Rannoch, just in case there's is a pit on the other side of this door, do you mind if I open this one?
Oh yeah, go for it. No problem.
Thanks, buddy.
Should
And
I
I'll
like
gent-
should I like hold on to your garments in case you fall or something? This big
Uh,
pit.
Sure.
Okay, I got you.
He gives him a nod, and then I'm just going to swing the door open and see.
All right. So you are greeted by the disgusting visage of a giant ant-like creature and a
Oh, shit.
ruptured sack on its back. And for a moment, you jump back in surprise before realizing that you recognize this room. It's the ant creature you had killed previously.
I see. So this door comes out to the door that we didn't open previously?
Correct.
I see.
So you kind of get the impression you've essentially been traveling back towards the like these last two rooms have been traveling back towards the beginning on the other side down the cliffs.
So if we want to progress, we need to go the other way.
Down.
Hmm.
Down, 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 down.
How much rope do we have? I've got 50 feet of rope.
I assume
Well, then-
everyone has 50 feet.
Yeah.
So-
Indeed.
And I've got that featherfall trinket from Cuthbert. So if we do come across that,
Oh, sorry. Just because I expertly disarmed this scythe without breaking it, do we have a scythe?
You do.
Wonderful. Could I don't know, put it on Rennock's back or something?
You may.
Is it of reasonable make?
Yeah.
come in handy?
It's
Sure.
it's a decent scythe. It's not the nicest scythe you've ever
Okay.
seen. I mean, it could be. You may not have seen that many scythes, but yeah, it's decent.
Sorry, you were speaking about rope.
I was just saying, like, we have, like, what, 200 plus, and then we've got that featherfall trinket, so if we do accidentally come across that pit thing, we should be all right.
Oh, you weren't planning on using the rope to navigate the labyrinth?
I mean, we could. That's actually pretty clever. I was just worried about, the falling, but we've got featherfall for that, is what I'm trying to say.
It is a worry. It is certainly a worry. We need a way to work our way through the labyrinth, and maybe the rope would do. At least for 200 feet of the labyrinth.
We have chalk too,
You do.
We do?
because we bought both kinds. we bought that chalk, so we can always mark the walls.
Are we feeling fairly confident that we at least have an attempt?
I think so.
You can do anything.
Yeah, it's like mid-morning, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You haven't been in long.
Yeah.
It's probably getting towards lunchtime.
I'll pat Rannoch on the arm. Don't worry, just stay close, and we'll get you through it. I will take that as yes. You are comforted by myself.
I think he did say he was AFK for a bit.
Okay.
So, down the stairs you go. And when you reach the bottom of the stairs, you come out in a room basically the same as the top. Just a round circular room and a corridor going back the way you came, but lower. And you travel this for a while before you're greeted with a very large stone archway. Inside, the walls are rocky but flat, and they reach ceiling high. And you can see immediately that this is the entrance to a maze, and that your first direction, left or right, the first choice is up ahead. Now,
Can we see the top of the maze? Is it like
no, yeah, so the
Okay.
ceiling to floor walls.
okay?
So I will say this though, that because mazes don't really work in D&D, because otherwise I could just ask you, a load of meaningless left or right questions. But essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to do this kind of like a skill challenge, and there will be like obstacles and stuff within that you guys can sort of try and deal with and avoid. But essentially, it will come down to a skill challenge as to how many obstacles and how long it will take you to get through.
Makes perfect sense.
You may get advantage and whatnot on those skill challenges with the use of rope and chalk and such. But is everyone happy with that? Essentially, is my question. Or would you
No,
rather-
I want you to ask me 3 hours of left
Yeah,
and
do
right.
you want me to ask?
Yes.
All right, let me
sounds
just
like a
go
wonderful-
download a picture of a maze on the internet. We'll give it to Dan so he can solve it, and we'll all come back in 15 minutes.
Okay. No, that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Okay. So then, are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Very well.
I was born ready, so I changed my name because that's stupid. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I need a 5-minute break, guys. For the worst joke I've heard in a long time.
I love that joke.
And I live with myself. Like, that's got to be a bad joke. Okay. Well, because
Sorry, I missed that joke now, and I feel like I've
Oh.
missed out.
I don't think it was a joke, really.
it was.
No.
Liam said
definitely a
he
joke.
was born ready, but he changed his name because it was stupid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I
Thanks,
like.
man.
I like that. I like that, Liam.
Thank you.
Okay. That's a groaner for sure. All right. So because of that, Liam, I will ask you first then.
Sure thing.
So, is everyone familiar with how skill challenges work in this, or how I do them? I suppose. Essentially,
Say
each
a
of
skill,
you.
then you roll it.
Yeah, but I also would like you to describe how and why you're using that skill.
Well, I'm going first, fellas, so I'm going to use the most obvious fucking skill. That's survival, fellas.
Do you have good survival?
Are you
plus
the
4
one
survival.
at it? Okay.
Okay.
My highest is charisma, is intimidation, but I don't think I can use that here.
I intimidate the bro.
I'm gonna intimidate these walls.
Where the fuck are we going?
Show me the way.
You intimidate your
Oh,
allies into moving quicker.
I've done that before. I did that with what's his name? Brynjolf. I may have to do it again because I just rolled a 10.
That is a failure, sir.
It's very dark in here.
Yeah. And I'm also gonna add a little addendum to this rule: is if someone fails a check the first time, someone else can try again with that skill if they'd rather.
Sure beans.
Okay.
But that's one fail.
Sorry, what was that? The one fail.
So yeah, if someone fails with a skill in the skill challenge, someone else can try and use that skill again.
Right.
The
Okay.
skill's only
cool.
used up when it succeeds.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. Did Mortimer do something, or
He tried
I was
survival,
I was
but
trying
he
to
didn't
survive with
describe.
you.
He didn't describe how he was surviving.
But it didn't matter because I failed anyway.
Matters to me.
who?
Tanith.
Okay.
I'll go next. Tanith is going to raise her mace, the Lightbringer, and shed some light to help us perceive any hidden paths.
I wish I could have done that sooner.
So, to help with perception, using
Okay.
perception.
I'm happy with that.
Am I allowed to guide myself during a skill challenge or no?
Sure.
Okay.
But only yourself.
Only myself.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I needed it. That was a bad roll. 7 plus 4 plus 7, 18.
That is a success. So as you travel through, the light kind of shines away, and you see you're kind of the path you're following starts to arc back around, and you feel like you're going the wrong way. But with the help of Tanith's light and her eagle eyes, you manage to spot a more realistic path and continue your journey onwards.
So you perceived a new path.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Who is next?
So how high are these walls? Are they like floor to
Floor to
ceiling?
ceiling, yeah.
Which one are you thinking, Jade?
If they weren't so high, I was gonna do some acrobatic shit and do some parkour and see if I could get a better view.
I mean, so my justification for acrobatics was going to be something along the lines of, there's probably traps, or it could be rough, or
You can take acrobatics and I can take stealth.
I'm possibly even better at stealth. So, but I'm just saying, I was giving it to you. If you want to use acrobatics, like you could use them to navigate the trials
Well, those
and
are my two
tribulations of the.
highest. Yeah.
I would grab acrobatics because
Yeah.
I presume it isn't easy going through
No.
a underground
so I'm
labyrinth.
I'm about to get on that,
Yeah.
as you'll soon find out.
So yeah, that's what I want to do. I'll just kind of use some acrobatics to kind of like hop over maybe some, crumbling structure or, dodge out of the way of a little trap or something like
Yeah.
that.
So there's lots of like areas of rough ground and uneven sections, and like bits that even kind of fall away into like a black void below. Like some of the floor kind of breaks off and falls down, and you can help your friends kind of navigate that by going ahead and using your light feet to sort of test out the ground and make sure it's safe. Give me that roll.
Jump over, tie off a rope to help them, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
18.
18, that's another success. And so as you travel on, you kind of get to a sort of crossroads section, and you hear something kind of around the corner from you. It's this low, rhythmic clunking, like armored footsteps. And every so often you hear this little scrape, and then the clunking begins moving in the opposite direction. And then you hear a little scrape, and it becomes louder and louder and louder, and then quieter and quieter and quieter.
Sounds like it's a good time for that stealth skill.
Or a Rannoch special, just charge directly at them. Rhythmic, like scraping and clunking, or just clunking, like
Just
marching
clunking.
boots?
The scraping is every so often you think whatever thing is like kind of turning on the spot and going back.
guess stealth
So
seems the best way.
when we reach encounters, we're no longer in the skill challenge. So
Oh, right. This
then
is
you
us just dealing with the problem.
then you overcome
Okay.
the encounter. It could be stealth, but then everyone's rolling stealth, and then we get back into the skill
Sure.
challenge.
Am I able to ascertain what this thing is if I move into a stealthy, more advantageous spot?
Yeah, give me a stealth roll.
Cool.
I'm gonna drop my light so that he has more shadows to work with.
Probably a good idea. 24.
Okay. Yeah, so you sneak around the corner, and you see this gigantic, like almost 10 feet tall, armored man walking away from you. His armor is like very over the top and spiked and made of this kind of black iron. It looks like it's almost designed to be more intimidating than anything else. The interesting part comes when he kind of turns and you can see that inside the helm is and filling out the armor is black smoke rather than the figure of any humanoid creature.
Oh, okay. Are we kind of like at a four-way junction kind of thing, and he's passing our direct route occasionally, or is he kind of just nearby?
So you guys are kind of in just a straight corner, and then peering around that corner, you see him moving up and down a four-way junction.
Right.
So only you would be, like the others are completely out of his eye line, but you're like sneaked into a spot where you can look at him.
So that we either like time it and sneak by and can avoid him, or we have to try something clever.
Correct.
I guess. I will. Is he like heavily? Has he got a huge shield? Has he got big mace? Like.
Oh yeah, my apologies. Yeah, he has a very large shield. It's kind of a kite shield type shape, but it's angular and spiked. And he has this very wicked looking serrated sword as well. It looks almost like a gigantic meat cleaver that he has kind of propped on his shoulder.
Okay. It doesn't seem to be giving off any kind of energies. Like nothing looks hot or icy or anything like that.
No, there's no sign of anything elemental other than the sort of smoke piloting hit the armor. But
Sure. Do I get like a bad vibe, like necromantic stuff? It's not the smoke of industry. Like
you can make
there isn't an engine in there. Okay.
Make me a quick Arcana check.
13 plus 1, 14.
Yeah. So you reckon this is essentially some kind of magical entity that has been trapped in this armor.
Sure. But I can't ascertain whether it's necromantic or like an elemental trapped in there or something else.
You think based on the color and the sort of shape of the armor and stuff, you get a pretty strong necromancy vibe.
Okay. I will double back then and regale to the team. There is a huge man, or a huge set of armor, 10 foot tall, with a sword about as big as me, and a shield about as big as me, and seems to be filled with smoke, and not like smoke of a fire, some sort of soul, undead type stuff. And he's crossing every so often past the path in front.
Anybody know what that is?
Anyone can make me an Arcana check.
Got it.
If I took that 14 that I just rolled, for instance, I guess I don't know, or vaguely.
Yeah, that would be yours. Yeah,
90.
like you know what I've told you essentially.
Yeah.
16.
Ooh. 7.
So with a 19, Mortimer, you reckon this is some kind of construct put here for the purpose of defense, created by a very, very dark magical individual.
Some sort of a guard created by a terribly magical individual. Is it necromancy? Did we determine that so again?
It is necromancy, from what you can see.
Some sort of necrotic magic.
Do you think it could be dispelled? I could try to dispel it.
With my 19, could I tell her that?
You reckon, yeah, it's possible to dispel it, but really, really fucking hard.
It's possible to dispel it, but it will be difficult.
That's not what I said.
We could try to fight it or wait till it passes and sneak by. And she'll kind of glance at Rannoch and be like, or fight it.
Yeah, we can fight it.
Can I, on the fighting front, how wide are the corridors that we are navigating down and it is navigating
It varies,
down? 'Cause
but the corridor it's walking down is very, very wide, probably 20 feet.
Okay.
It's designed to sort of be able to fight within this radius.
So we could fight it.
If we aren't feeling like moving past it, but also that means we have to move past it back again whenever we want to come back this way.
Eliminating the problem now may be the best solution.
The other thing is, we don't know that the way that we are crossing it is necessarily the right way. It might be marching down. We can't. When I was there, I couldn't. Though it turns around, they aren't dead ends, or it's just another way through the
It's
labyrinth.
hard to see. The kind of corridor
Okay.
it's at is about 60 feet away from you, maybe 65.
Okay.
So like
it could
sort
be
of-
the right way.
You only
That's all
see
I'm
it
saying.
for a small section of its walk, as it sort of crosses the corridor that you're in at a
Okay.
crossroads.
Yeah, we have no reason to know if it guards the right way or not. And it's always going to be there if we don't do something about it.
Could we set up a bit of an ambush for it?
I would think so. I think the stealthier members of the group could move to one side and others could be on another. And we might be able to prepare something.
I could bless some of us.
Most beneficial, I would think. I have a thought. I do have 1 jar of ant acid. Could be effective against that amount of metal. Might not be.
It's pretty effective against anything.
Yeah. I hope. I wonder if I could get it right in the visor.
And then if we want to use it now, or perhaps save it for a monster that's slightly more... I'm gonna say frightening. Frightening is the word I'm gonna use.
Well, I don't know how many 10-foot tall spiky black smoke knights you come across on a daily basis. But,
If it's partially incorporeal, the acid might not do much more than like damaging the suit of armor it's in. It might not actually hurt the creature itself. Maybe we should save it for something more fleshy.
And the fact that this is the first thing that we have encountered in this labyrinth tells me that there is far scarier things within.
just a suggestion. How best are we to damage the incorporeal thing inside then, Daneth?
Fuck if I know. I've got some magics. That one looks like he might be useful with magics too. But
Have
I
plenty.
suppose we could just try and beat it senseless. I think bludgeoning would be like the thing to go with something like that. But she kind of shrugs.
Maybe. I,
Can
perhaps it,
can Lenore punch ghosts yet?
Not yet. I don't
that's
think.
next level.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because I think I'm the only one with a magic weapon.
Mm,
Got a magic cloak.
Too much.
I got my new sword.
Is it magical or just
Yeah.
fancy?
Yeah. Rannoch, Lenore, both have magical stuff.
Okay.
I figured maybe the only way that an incorporeal thing can interact with the corporeal world is by possessing that armor. So maybe if we damage it enough, it'll not be able to hurt us.
Right. And Rob, now that I'm thinking about it, what did I can make an attack with my bonus action with my shield? Now with my shield? What's the damage it can do? Like a D4? D6?
Yeah, it's a D6.
Plus strength?
Mhm.
Okay. Am I proficient with it?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Just double checking. I didn't write it down.
Well, are you proficient with shields? I assume so.
Yeah, I'm a cleric. Yeah.
Then yeah.
But I didn't know if it would count as an improvised weapon.
Is it A, a shield, or B, not a
Okay. You're being a prick now.
shield?
Is
So,
he A prick, or B not
a
a
shield?
prick? Or a shield? um,
So what's the plan?
I'm going to cast Bless on Lenore, Renok, and um Avel whenever the thing gets near.
are we able to get into some sort of position where we'll all be able to attack it relatively at the same time?
The corridor's wide enough for most of you to stand abreast.
Okay.
And I can stand at the back regardless.
Or like a little nook that we can kind of like try to hide in and like step in behind it as it passes or something.
So as to charge it.
I would love one of those nooks.
It's hard to tell. There is the corridor on the it's a crossroads, so there is the corridor on the other side. So half of you could go onto the other side, and half of you on this side and attack from either side. But it is definitely like there's the walls of the corridor you're in is definitely featureless.
But I think we should do the crossroads thing. One group and then the other group steps out behind or something.
I would think so. Attack it from two sides.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So what's happening?
I'm
Me and
gonna
you, Lenore?
stay on this side.
Yeah, we can go across. Take our new friend with us or leave him here.
How stealthy are you, Mortimer?
Not terribly.
He stays here then.
Yeah.
In any case, I'll be standing near the back regardless.
All right then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's all going across?
Me and Lenore, I think.
Okay. Stealth checks, please.
23.
Oh, that was almost a Kraken, but it's a 22.
Okay. So the two of you kind of steal up the corridor. About 10 feet down, the clunking stops.
Like it sensed that something had got past it.
That's yours to extrapolate. You can't see
Okay.
it currently.
Just pause. It doesn't start up again.
How long do you pause for?
30 seconds?
Okay. So after about 5 seconds, you see it again. It's now floating about 2 feet off the ground. turns the corner straight towards you. And
We are pressed up against walls, I guess.
It is staring at both of you, like looking between you. And then you
Right.
see its eyes flick up to the corner that the others are hiding around.
I was
Or
gonna
not
say
its
this
eyes,
would be the opposite.
its head, sorry. Flick up and look at the exact spot the others are around the corner.
Okay.
Can we see that or no?
No.
So much for stealth.
So it knows exactly where they are, even though they're not in line of sight.
Yes.
Great. But it hasn't attacked.
It is currently regarding you both. You have a few moments before it might do something.
Okay. Running would be really ill-advised in a labyrinth. But also facing off against this thing. Avel is going to try, unless Lenore has any suggestion. Avel is
Nope.
going to fall back. Okay.
Yeah, fall back.
No, you could start falling back, and he's going to start walking backwards slowly, but he's going to fall back on his default state, which is just to go, "Hello there."
So Lenore will start she's falling, and then you're gonna say hello. So she'll just stop and be shrug and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
He's still slowly walking backwards as long as this thing isn't attacking us, but he's like, we were passing and didn't know how aggressive you were.
We're terribly lost.
Do I see this thing about to attack?
So you're around the corner, but you can hear Aval talking.
Mortimer just kind of sighs. Says, he solves all his problems with communication, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's one of those.
What a healthy bastard.
Oh, that was good. Has this thing? Is there a look of puzzlement on its?
It does cock
ephemeral
its head
face?
to one side. There's no face. It's just
Sure.
swirling smoke, but it does cock its
Yeah,
head to
yeah.
one side, and it is all its attention is kind of focused on you for the moment.
But it still hasn't been violent or menacing at all.
It's
just
hella
floating?
menacing.
Sure, but it's not
it's-
raised its weapon and you know.
It is it's
okay.
not made a move like it's about to attack you, but it's
Okay.
clearly weighing up whether
He's
or not
buying
it is going
time, and maybe distracting it. He was quite surprised that it didn't just full on murder them immediately. I think it's probably up to you guys. He's just going to keep chatting at
So
it unless it speaks back.
As you're talking to it, then it begins floating forwards between you and Lenore, and kind of stops and turns around the corner, and then it continues floating a bit before raising its sword and striking at Mortimer twice.
What?
Oh, what, it just
Mortimer was
floated
at
away?
the inn.
Pardon?
Yeah. Mortimer was back behind me and Rannoch.
Yeah, and it's flown past all of you to get to Mortimer first.
I mean,
Okay.
never with that because that's no.
If he
Yeah,
starts
we
doing that, I'm going to start running after him.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I will say he hasn't attacked yet then, and I will let you guys act first.
I am going to cast blindness and deafness on it.
Okay.
And as a Constitution save.
No, it's not. It's immune to being blinded and deafened.
Fuck. Asshole. Okay. Then she's gonna pull out her mace and ready her shield.
Cool. Brannock.
I'm going to finally seeing it's trying to attack, charge forward and smash.
Okay. Give me
That's
some attack
going
rolls.
to be all rage as well, so that'll be a 19 to hit.
A 19 misses.
Wah, wah.
Mortimer.
There's I'm assuming this is like coming super quick.
It is coming pretty quick, yeah, but it's staring at you. It seems to only want to go for you at the moment.
Mortimer kind of blinks, and as he blinks, there's the smokiness that you saw earlier as he casts mage armor on himself.
Okay.
Didn't you already cast that on yourself?
Yeah, it lasts for 8 hours.
Oh, in which case I still have it. Carry on.
Mm-hmm.
So you
So
have
do you
an
want to
action.
do something else?
How close is it to me now? Is it directly in front of me?
Yeah, I would say about a foot.
I'm gonna use acid splash because that sounds like fun.
Okay.
He basically just like puts his hand on its chest and just there's a horrid bubbling sound.
Is that an attack roll from you or a save from me, sir?
A dex save, yes.
That's a 19.
Yep. Never mind. Well,
So as you actually,
nothing.
it also has advantage. It's a 19. So it as you kind of hold out your hand, you feel there's like this magical sort of energy in it that pulses slightly and rebuffs you and kind of pushes you back against the wall, and your hand comes away and the acid kind of just drips harmlessly from it. Aval and Lenore.
So we managed to keep up with it or catch up.
Yeah, it's moving at 30 feet.
Okay. It hasn't. If it hasn't hit yet,
it is
it's
very
very
clearly
clearly
about to attack Mortimer.
but only the undead member of our party, which is a weird thing to say, I guess. He's a friend?
There's no response discernible to you.
Oh. Having had a chance to look at this creature in somewhat close up, does it have any like holy symbols on it or anything to mark it as an enemy of
Give you a
undead?
perception check, sir.
If it's a guardian of a labyrinth to keep something evil inside, it possibly only attacks that which is evil. Or, undead, negative energies. 15.
15. There's no holy symbols you can see on it. Though the armor does feature a lot of skull motifs and general kind of metal album looking stuff and imagery of people in pain and lots of spikes.
Okay.
You wouldn't want to meet him in a dark labyrinth.
Oh boy. Okay. Sorry. And I'm going to kick off a wall and plunge a rapier into its back or something.
Go for it.
Near allies, so schnook attack and the rest of it.
Yes, sir.
That is 15 plus 8, 23.
Okay, your armor, your thin blade pierces a crack in the armor. Well, not a crack, but a gap. Give me that roll.
10, 18, 23 damage from a non-magical source.
Non-magical, okay. Okay. The thing makes no movement or reacts in absolutely no way to being pierced up to the hilt with a rapier, and continues intently focused upon Mortimer.
So I imagine it goes all the way in and he's kind of just still on the back of it for a second and then has to it all the way out as he pushes and flips off it. Yeah.
And finally, Lenore.
That's gonna be an 18 and a 15 to hit.
Both miss, I'm afraid.
And then my unarmed is a critical.
That will hit.
For 14 points of non-magical damage.
Okay. Again, no reaction, though you do dent its armor horribly. It's this thing's turn now. And then we'll roll initiative. So you guys can all roll initiative while I'm doing attacks. That's going to be a crit for the first one.
Oh, great!
It's
And,
only on 12 health.
and a 22
21.
on the second one.
Oh.
No, I am
Oh,
12.
boy.
Never mind. What am I 21 on this?
So
14.
you take 12 damage on the first one, Mortimer.
Dune, son.
Okay. Then the second attack, it is going to wheel round to Tanith and strike with a 16 to hit.
Miss.
Okay. You duck aside of this great arcing blow. All right, initiatives, everyone, please.
14.
26.
Ooh, boy.
Mhm.
17.
Oh, okay. I know. I thought I was going to go.
You, Liam?
10.
Andrew?
You got a
He
7.
has 7.
7.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, Aval, predictably, you're first, sir.
So he kind of like, has pushed the rapier free and has kind of like flipped off the back of the thing, and he'll take a moment to take it in and go, I can see why you'd strike down Mortimer. He's, a scary chap, but it's slightly too far when you strike a cleric of Bahamut, Silver Light, whatever you're going for. And he's going to attempt, with hopefully some success, to do a similar thing again. 17 plus 8,
That's a hit.
25. Stabby. 11, 17, 22 damage. Again, non-magical source.
22. Okay.
And I will push it free again. And
Yep. Lenore.
24 and a 20 and a 14.
The 24 and the 20 hit.
All right. First one is going to be 14 points of damage. And that is from a magical source. And the next one's going to be 10 points of damage from a magical source.
Okay. So again, you crash into it, and its armor is looking pretty rough, but the creature inside seems to not be worried, as it is going to strike twice more at Tanith, ignoring everyone else, it seems. That's going to be an 18 to hit.
That is my armor class, unless that shield is a +1.
Tisn't.
Okay, armor class.
And a 25.
That will also hit if an 18 hits,
Yeah,
because that is how maths work.
indeed. So 8 points of slashing on the first one and 12 points of slashing on the second one.
Okay.
And that is its turn. Tanith, it's your go.
Right. Don't think it's gonna listen to reason, Aval, and I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt at a 2nd level.
Okay.
So that will be 18 plus 7 to hit for 25.
Your spell glances off
What?
It is immune to that spell.
How is it immune to a spell?
Of a certain level?
This
Potentially.
creature is immune to 3 specific spells that its creator chose when it was created. One of those spells is Guiding Bolt. For the sake of...
If it's a-
well, I'm not going to tell you the others, but there are 2 others.
If it's a bad news golem, it might not. It might be built to go against clerical magic,
Mm-hmm.
Might.
possibly.
Right. Well, then Tanith is going to curse a whole lot, and
If
that
you
will
bring the
be
dead
go.
chap back again, he might start hitting him again.
Well, it's a bit of a problem I can't solve at this particular moment because can't do 2 things at once.
Death saving throw, please, Mortimer.
He's a revenant, doesn't he? Just pop back up.
24 hours. I have the strength of the grave, but the thing that hit me was a critical hit, wasn't it?
Twas.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Ah, you're fine. Success!
Hooray.
Yay!
I wish you every other success. And Ranok.
Do I get like a good sight of this monster, like a good look at him, size him up?
Yeah, he's battering your friends right next to you.
Yeah, like, dude, is there like, I'm gonna, how big is he?
He's about 10 feet tall.
So like, I could grapple him if I wanted to, right?
You could certainly try.
All right, I'm gonna try to grapple him.
He's also immune to the grapple spell.
He's immune to all spells involving muscles.
Yep.
He crit for 24 total.
Oh wow.
He's
All right.
immune to everything.
That was just luck of the roll.
Oh, that was my turn.
Oh, that's not
So-
impossible to beat. No, I'm sure you.
So
won't
you
tell
like
him.
leap up to grab him, and he just like he basically puts his shield up between you, and you grab his shield, and then he just
Hey,
kinda
Andrew, did
slams
you
you
rage?
against into the wall.
Yeah, I had raged at the start.
Did you roll
with
that with
advantage.
advantage?
Stuff.
Did you,
Did you roll with
inform
advantage?
the dungeon master? I'm kidding. Yeah, you have advantage on strength stuff though.
I got a 26.
Then you win.
See?
Yay!
Hey! I didn't realize I had advantage. All right, thank you.
On all strength things when raging, yes.
So you
Grab
basically
left rage.
come up under his shield and just kind of tackle him around the middle, slamming against the wall.
Awesome.
He now has 0 movement, and his movement is yours. So if you can move half speed away from other people, then he can't attack them.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
I'm
advance.
gonna use my movement and move him a little bit away.
Cool.
Sounds good. So
It's
push
like
him.
you're playing another character, Dan.
Just trying to save the team.
Yeah, no, go for it, because he's like immune to all of our non-magical attacks and some of our magic ones. So yeah, save us, please.
Save us from ourselves.
I mean, I hope resistant to non-magical. Otherwise, I could stop stabbing him. But
I mean, we don't know.
I would have told you if he was immune.
okay.
Yeah,
I
it
would.
didn't
I
sound
wouldn't have
like
let you. I would have been like, oh, interesting, good. Just do my maths here. Like, I would have told you.
Okay.
I'm a bastard, but I'm not that much of a bastard.
Mm,
I'm not that much of a bastard, Jade.
Mm,
I kid.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We had a success. Woo.
Avar.
So he's now away from the people that he was brutally beaten senseless.
Correct.
Do I get the sense, I know it hasn't been very long, that he has turned his attention to Ranok to now smite, or is he
Yeah,
like
his
fighting
head
against
is
it?
now looking down at Ranok. You
Okay,
think
cool.
for a construct, this thing is particularly has like a more of an intelligence to it than you would expect, and it's
I
sort
certainly
of,
wouldn't have expected it to go after a person who was down a corridor, around a corridor and things. So
indeed,
I
yeah.
feel.
There's a method to its madness, sort of thing. You think?
He's going after
Yeah.
full casters.
There's no, source of power. There's nothing glowing.
No, it's just the smoke. I'm afraid so.
There's nothing for me to strike at or steal. Beyond just hitting this thing. I'm gonna try dodge in, hit it, and then disengage and move back.
Okay.
That is a natural 20
God
Woot
damn.
woot.
Third of
for
the night, son.
all of the damages
Every
from
single
the
one.
from the schnurk.
You
That
could just
is
roll normal
10.
and not half it if that's easier.
No, I want to roll double dice, and then you can.
Of course.
11, 16. So that's 29 plus 5,
Ooh,
34
17.
for 17 of the big damages.
Oh.
So like I said, I was eyeing this thing up, and maybe he sees like a weak point, and
Yeah. Like, I imagine
sword goes in.
you see kind of the area that Lenore has been pummeling on, and the armor is sort of caved in at that section. You just thrust your sword in there, and it goes through like butter straight into the center of his chest cavity.
Give it a wiggle, pull it out, and then disengage back off.
Sure. Lenore.
All right, I'm gonna 2 sword slashes and a punch. That is a 20, 25 with the sword, and 17 with the punch.
Okay, all but the punch hit.
All right. Oh, that's crap. That's 7 points of damage on the first one, and 11 points of damage on the second one.
Okay. And they're both magical, yeah?
Yep, that's my sword.
Cool. This thing drops the shield to one side, takes the sword in 2 hands and turns it upside down and tries to plunge it into Rannoch's back.
Oof.
The first is going to be an 18 to hit,
That's it.
and the second is a dirty 20. You take 9 on the first one, halved to 4, and 7 on the second one, halved to 3. As it just like tries to cut at you, but your arms kind of are preventing it from being able to raise the sword high enough to put the point in your back, so it's just kind of cutting your sides with it as it's trying to lift it. Tanith.
Yeah, so it's well out of my range, so I'm no longer in danger of getting myrtleated.
You would
I'm
think
gonna go over to Mortimer. I'm like, I don't even know if this is gonna fucking work on you, and cast Cure Wounds.
Mortimer.
You get 7 points of healing. No, 6 points of healing. My wisdom's not quite 20 yet.
Does the healing stick?
Liam, you're muted in the hangout.
Robert, does the healing stick?
I'm just double checking, but yes, I believe so.
Oh, also my health is a lot higher now. Normally, when someone comes back to life after being knocked out, they take in a deep breath, right?
Sure.
Probably.
Mortimer doesn't do that. His eyes just sort of open, and then he just stands up.
Yeah.
Like this is a normal Tuesday for you, kind of thing.
Essentially, you know, you die once, you've died 1,000 times.
No, that's actually not how that works at all. Yeah, that's my action. I'm going to get in a position kind of in between the thing and Mortimer.
All right. And Mortimer, it is your go.
Who's within 20 feet of the thing?
That would be Aval's probably on the cusp of that. Rannoch is right up in. Lenore is also probably pretty nearby.
Yep.
Do they both resist fire?
No, I don't.
Yeah, they do.
Damn.
You remember that fleshy people don't have any problem with fire.
I mean, of course, it is like, you know,
They're made
you're
of
wanting
basically
to cast
mostly water.
fireball. He is 10 feet tall, so you got like 3 feet of clearance for most of them.
3 feet of clearance.
If you like aim it up towards the ceiling.
I will say that is something you can do.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's do that then. But I'm going to use 2 of my sorcery points and make it quick so it counts as a bonus action. Click, click.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, I've got all of that.
So you're casting fireball, is it?
Yes.
The Helmed Horror is immune to fireball.
Oh, you little cunt. Well, it's a good thing I used it as a bonus action then. Nothing
So,
happens.
Yeah, it just like the fire erupts, like Rannoch's back hair gets singed, and then nothing seems to have happened to the creature.
Very well. And I'm then going to cast Witch Bolt as an action.
It's a. Go
Oh,
for
we
it.
found all 3.
That is a... Oh, I can't do quick math.
2 + 2 is
23 to hit. 23.
Liam, not to shit on your parade or anything, but even if you use Quicken Spell, you can still only cast a cantrip because you can't cast 2 spells in a
Is that
round.
okay? Okay. In
Sorry.
which case, that's fine. In which case, I'll just use that 23 for Firebolt then.
Okay. That hits.
So I cast like a massive fireball that does fuck all. And so
A
I find a
tiny
little one.
little one. It's the sneaky
Sorry?
one.
Pew.
Pulled a little sneaky on you.
Little extra one. Extra little diddly. Where's my fucking D8s? D10s, oh boy.
Sorry, I'm also trying to save your spell slot. That's what I'm doing.
Yes.
14 fire damage.
All right. You kill it.
Stop laughing at me, you little cunt.
You kill it.
Oh,
You
yes!
just blast a
Yeah.
hole through the weakened chest piece, and you just see the ball just enter the chest and just erupt flame out of every gap in the armor, and the black smoke is no more. The armor just crumbles around Rannoch, and Rannoch kind of stumbles as he stands up. The other spell was Lightning Bolt, if you're interested.
Oh, I see.
But you have defeated this creature.
What is the term? An eye for an eye.
A chest cavity for a chest cavity.
Yeah. Well, good. And I kind of like brush some soot or something off my shoulders after being like rained with fire from a rocky ceiling.
I imagine, as far as you guys are concerned, it was the fireball that killed it.
Yeah.
Only Mortimer knows that it was the little one. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, sneaky little bolt. I kind of like move over to the iron creature with its chest cavity exposed. There isn't anything inside it. Any gem or anything of value or intrigue.
No, nothing that you can. I mean, the sword's big, but it's just a normal longsword.
Okay. What happened to the smoke? Was it gone when
Yeah.
the fire?
So the
ball-
fire just essentially burned it all away.
Okay.
If I go over and
Huh.
admire the armor, it's something I would recognize from my homeland, given that it has similar skull motifs and spikes to what I've got.
Yeah, make me a history check there. But
Oh yeah, a fantastic history. That's an 8.
you've never seen anything like this in your life. In fact, you
Cool.
recall that people from your homeland don't typically wear armor.
Sure, fine, sure, yeah.
I take a quick moment to just like doodle it down.
Sure.
Is there a part of it that I can?
Yeah,
take
the
back
armor's
to
in
the
lots of
eggheads?
pieces. Though the armor doesn't strike you as particularly magical in and of itself. But you can certainly take pieces. There's like the helmet or the girdle or one of the
The girdle.
boots or gauntlets.
What's that shield like? You said it was like a kite shield. Like, is it bigger than all of us?
Yeah,
Because it was
it's
a
not-
kite shield for
it's
this
n-
dude.
It's not bigger than all of you, but it's a good like 5 feet long, 4 feet wide type dealio.
Not wieldable by us by any means.
Ranok could maybe give it a go if he was really trying hard. Like it would be heavy for Ranok.
Might be a
Two-handed
nice
weapon.
it might be a nice souvenir, or someone might be interested in it.
Sure.
If Renok doesn't mind carrying it.
Or the sword, or the helmet. I was thinking.
Does any of it appear magical?
No.
Okay.
Well, so what are you taking? The sword, helmet, and shield?
I mean, it seems like that would overburden him a little. I was thinking the helmet might be the smallest piece, but the sword or shield might be useful in some way. But also, anything Ranok takes, he's going to have to take down with him and then take back again. And we could always maybe get the shield or the sword on the way back.
Yeah. Okay.
I was maybe just going to tie like the helmet to his pack or something.
Yeah, we can always grab these on our way back out.
For sure.
Because we've totally been marking our way.
Mm-hmm.
This whole way
Yeah. I've
here.
been under the impression you guys have.
Okay.
Avel has the calligrapher's, cartographer's kit for that reason.
Yeah.
And we have got chalk, so
Yeah, you guys know exactly.
And also 200 feet of rope.
Mhm.
I will not be making you guys roll to get back.
okay.
You can just do it.
Cool. What did you call that creature?
That is a helmed horror, sir.
Helmed
Page
horror.
183 of the monster manual. Except it's got
I think
more health 'cause
that
it's-
is something Avel would call it right now.
Yeah.
The helmed horror.
The helmed horror of Trunham Dark.
Yes.
Yeah, they're cool. They're like immune to everything. AC 20. They've got shit all hit points, so I beefed them up a bit, and they don't do that much damage. But they're just like tanky as fuck. But they're quite cool because they're like essentially an animated armor, but they've got intelligence, so they can fly as well. But so they always go for spellcasters first.
Okay.
And like try and pick off like some of the weaker characters first.
I've definitely seen and or heard of it in the book
Yeah.
before. But,
And they also, the thing I like about them is, like it says in the little like flavor bit that they are designed to follow intent rather than specific wording. So if you're
Okay.
like, guard this door, like it would try to stop people coming through the door. It wouldn't like protect the item, the door sort of thing. So it doesn't have to like, you don't have to give it like exactly worded instructions. It's a pretty cool little monster. I like it. Anywho, is everyone good to take a quick break there? I don't have anything on tomorrow, so we can go for a little bit longer. I don't want to keep everyone up late.
I'm okay to go for as long as whenever. But Jade has bedtimes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
I'm
have
not.
a bedtime. I'm an adult.
You have a
I mean,
bedtime.
how much
You have a
longer?
self-imposed dead time. Dead time? Bedtime.
Dead time. That's what Mortimer.
I'll just
Mortimer
give
calls it.
Mortimer.
Mortimer calls it dead time.
Yeah.
No, he
That's
doesn't.
what Mortimer calls it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
So
go. I can go a little later tonight. It's an easier week for me. It's
so
only 2
what's
days with the kiddos.
what are we thinking? Like another hour from now or so?
Oh, easily.
Hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours.
I thought we normally finished around midnight.
So we
Yeah.
normally finish in about a half an hour.
Yeah, because Rob always ends it a little early so he
Yeah.
can chat with us for a bit. So he's getting out of here at midnight.
Yeah.
Rather
Sure.
No, I mean
Uh,
I'm good. I'm good for another hour, 2 hours.
I'm good to go until like at 1-ish or something.
Okay.
I'm good
Much-
Alright,
for
for you,
like
yeah.
an hour most, but I feel kind of dead. So
Okay. So yeah, we won't go too late. Don't worry.
Do you want to make this break also a short rest? Mortimer would suggest in
Yes.
his deep gravelly voice.
You won't make
I suppose it-
a short
yeah.
rest.
I'll get like Renok and me will pick over this creature and pull it apart.
Yeah.
Whatever's left of it.
Sure.
Be right back.
All of my hit dice.
BRB guys.
Boy.
Don't forget to add your con mod.
Thank you, mother.
Oh, I could heal up the poison damage.
Now I'm back up to full.
Yay.
And I think I get my channel divinity back.
I am unsure. Mayhaps I'm
I
going to
do.
visit-
I do.
Yay.
Short rest.
Be right back.
Okay, bye.
returned.
Woo.
Hooray!
I can almost taste the sarcasm.
Well, it's perfectly sincere.
Yours was.
You're perfectly sincere.
Listen, sarcasm at this point in time is like my first language. I don't apologize for it. I don't make excuses for it. I just exist.
If you can't handle Jade at her snarkiest, you can't. You don't deserve her at her sweetest.
Also snarkiest.
I was born in the snark. You merely adopted it.
Like I always say, I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass.
True.
Speak for yourself.
As
Sure.
both, I would merely like to say that, smart ass and dumbass can exist together in perfect harmony.
Can't have the light without the dark. No,
Listen,
other way.
man.
Can't have the dark without the light.
Listen, I'm not sitting here saying you guys can't be dumbasses. That's more power to you. That's not my path. Someone's got to carry this burden.
Such a brave sacrifice you are making, Jade.
My God-given snark.
That one's mostly for UC.
Oh, you got me a present. There we go.
It's a meme, but if you consider those presents, then sure.
Oh. Aw.
That's fantastic.
That's fucking funny.
Aw.
I wonder if it works.
Who knows?
Doubt it. God.
I don't know. I like my dice jail.
I mean, if there's going to be anyone to try it out.
Jade got me this dice jail.
Hooray, dice jail.
Because but I should be getting that wormwood one sometime.
Okay. And then you have double the jail, or is one of them going to be rehab? No.
One is the maximum security.
Oh,
The other one is
okay.
So one's for
$1.
dice terrorists and serial killers.
Yes. The other one's
Thrown
just
in the hole. Isolation for a month.
Yeah, it's like, one is the holding cell. They might be able to get out on probation.
Drunk tank.
Yeah.
I was going to make that joke.
Go home, Dice. You're drunk. And Andrew died then.
I thought I heard him.
He just gone out to get pizza.
Andrew, you back?
Oh
Baby?
yeah. I've been back for a
Okay.
little bit.
I was gonna say I thought I heard him.
Sweet. So, we've had 2 successes and 1 failure. Who would like to
Hello.
make the next skill challenge roll?
Andrew, do a strong thing.
Lenore still has to do her strength, stealth as well, correct?
No, I did acrobatics.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Aval's
me
up.
to go, and Andrew, but I feel there's a very obvious choice for Rannoch.
What is the skill check?
Athletics?
No, like what am I trying to do? I'm not sure.
So
if
this
that's
is
what I
this
was
is part of
aiming
the skill challenge. So essentially, you've got to pick a skill and describe how you would use it to help your friends make their way through the dungeon or the maze.
Just how I would be helpful in a maze.
Yeah, but so
Yep.
say you might be like, I'm gonna use stealth to try and find a sneak way forward. Or something.
Strength to break down doors or flimsy walls and such.
Yeah, I like it.
That's going to be a 19.
A 19, that's a success. So, as you guys kind of move through, Rannoch is like breaking walls and smashing stuff, and essentially helping you guys stride on without having to take longer routes around some of the obstacles. That is 3 successes. We need 2 more to succeed, and 2 more failures
Okay.
to ultimately fail.
Using stealth, can I avoid other obstacles or observe things that are sneaky in nature? Make my
Yes,
way past traps and like
absolutely.
cool. We'll find. That is my 3rd crit of the night. I seem to be challenging Ashley, channeling Ashley from
Yeah.
the most recent critical role.
Spoilers.
Yeah, right.
Well, people are miles behind, all they're caught up. So
So that's exactly
Um,
why you don't do spoilers.
I literally spoiled nothing else about what happened.
You
apart
just,
from-
I mean, you
Ashley.
spoiled infinitely more than Cia J did. I'm kidding. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
No, it's not that big of a deal. I mean,
I'm joking.
mostly.
I got 30 on my stealth. So.
Bugger my arse.
That is a success.
I just stealth out of the maze, I clip through a wall, and just keep going.
It's like in Skyrim. You just find
Yeah.
the right corner, you walk into it for 10 minutes, and then you're outside.
Speaking. Okay. We have one more, right?
Yeah. One
Jay,
more.
do you feel good about any, or do you want me to go?
I mean, I could try a history and see, like, if I've.
That's what I was gonna try too. Can me and Lenore stick our heads together to give one of us advantage on a history check to see if we remember any sort of like, sacred geometry or Fibonacci sequences that the labyrinth might be following, or the terminus might be copying?
Sure. I like it.
Okay.
Would you take the advantage?
You want me to take the advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do a dragon egg, and I'm gonna do an ethereal kraken. Oh, the kraken failed me, man. But the dragon egg is not too bad. That's a 21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is a success. And so, luckily, you guys are able to make it out of the labyrinth without any further obstacles meeting your way. And you find when you get to the end, there is another kind of large corridor that opens up in front of you after another archway. And beyond that, the corridor goes forward for about 30 feet and then just stops. And where it stops, you look down because there is a huge hole about 20 feet in diameter that travels in a perfect, smooth walled pit directly downwards. So far down that none of you can see the bottom.
So completely dark, or completely empty corridor, no doors, just this big hole.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know what time of day is it now that we're out of the terminus. How many hours did it take us to get through?
It's going to have taken you about 2 hours to get through, so mid-afternoon.
Okay.
We light a torch and drop it down and see how far down this goes.
Yeah, I'll hand Lenore a torch.
I'll light it and drop it down. Unless someone's gonna stop me.
Nope.
I'm gonna clip through the floor again and then see all the way down.
Just
Outside the bounds.
just so that we know, like, if we were to travel back from here to like rest in town and then come back, like what time, like how much time would we be losing, like backtracking versus like camping in?
So to get all the way back to town, the fastest route possible here is going to take you about 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, and so whenever we come back, it'll be another 4 or 5 hours to
Yeah.
get back to where we were.
Yeah.
So we'd basically just spend another night in town, go back and spend a night in town, and then come back fresh in the morning.
I think so. Like once we like drop the torch, see how far down it goes,
Okay.
or whatever. I think we need to be much more or as prepared as we can be if we're about to like drop off into where we don't know of a way back.
There is a risk that dropping a torch in there is basic, and then leaving is going to let them prepare something for us at the bottom.
I could drop a rock.
Yeah, same issue there.
Apart from we wouldn't be able to see as well.
Well, you wait until you hear a clank or a sploosh or what have you.
Although I
And
suppose that
rocks move every now and then. Maybe there was just a storm, but torches don't just get dropped.
that's a good point. We could try the rock.
I've just out of character. Are we smart enough to interpolate how far down this would be from? Like, can we count the seconds? No, we're not the smartest party. But
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess.
we have a +1 and a +1 between me and Tanith. We can put our heads together and maybe try count the distance.
Yeah, I'll
Go back to town and run some experiments.
I'll grab the absolute biggest rock I can get.
I'm going to guide Avel because he's got the, the elvish ears. Tell us what your elvish ears hear, Avel, and she's gonna like try to assist you in the intelligence check or whatever it is while when he drops the rock.
Okay. So
With guidance.
you drop the rock. Make me...
Dropping the rock.
Yeah, make me... Oh, I don't even know what this check is going to be.
Just intelligence? Straight intelligence?
Yes.
Is there a noise, first of all?
What is the noise?
The noise is...
Is it like a plunk or like a sploosh?
It is like the sound of a rock falling onto stone. Clickety clackety clack.
Oh, like a clank, 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 clank.
Clickety clackety clack.
Okay. You hear some at the bottom go, "What? That never happens."
Ow! Fuck!
Yeah. Do you want me to make
Yeah,
some
we'll
sort
call
of
it
int related thing?
intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay.
Or wisdom?
Intelligence.
Mm.
Uh, straight intelligence, but I get the guidance, and do I get advantage from Tanith helping with intelligence, or am I solo
Yeah,
intelligencing?
I think this is solo. I'm not really sure how she could
Well,
help other than by being quiet.
Okay.
Can I roll a stealth to help?
he is he is guided though.
I will add. Oh, that was a good roll. That couldn't have worked out better. And with the guidance, that is a non-natural 20.
So, as someone who's spent a great deal of life working out of their life working out the terminal velocity of different rocks, you're able to.
I mean, when you live your life around Rannoch,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it becomes more common.
No, so it falls, and it falls for quite a while, and then you hear the clack. You think you're looking at 400 to 500 feet.
Oh, damn.
How much rope do you have?
We only have
Do we
200
have?
on us.
Oh, you could probably get more rope in town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Issue would
Maybe
be
we could get like a rope and then like I don't know, something to like secure someone
We
just
have.
in case.
We bought a climber's kit, did we not?
yeah, we
Yeah,
did
Probably
it.
get like a
Rannoch has the
pulley
plan.
system, maybe
Oh.
like a little wheel or something, make it easier. Maybe like a little stop or two. I don't know, 500 feet's a real long way for something to go wrong.
Sure.
Yeah, we've got like a climber's kit and pittons, so we should be able to make this a more controlled descent than just a
Uh,
slide.
I mean, we might be able to find the fishermen. That was it. You know, they're up and down these mountains and things. They might have something to borrow. If like, I'm more and more liking the idea of some sort of lift construction that Rannoch is talking about now. I'm not sure
Mm.
how expensive it would be, but could bring some stuff down here. Set up some sort of pulley system.
Hmm.
Something a bit more robust.
Yeah, but I don't know. We might have to hire somebody to do that. I'm not much of an engineer.
Well,
Well, I mean, if we can get it like made in town and then just bring it down here.
yeah.
If we just walk up to someone and say, like, build this for us.
Yeah, you get one of those people that do those drawings on the papers, and then you bring
Mhm.
it to the guy, and then they make the thing.
I'm just thinking once we've got down, the getting down isn't so hard with 500 foot of rope. It's climbing back up again. And if we had a
Yeah,
pulley, it would make it a lot easier, especially if
yeah,
there was
way
anything
easier.
we were coming
Then
up with.
then we just need arm strength.
We got some money, and they're building buildings and stuff. This is the kind of stuff they would use.
We'll probably need to buy like a counterweight to get back up.
Mhm.
Use that armor from the thing.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, its chest is already blasted out. We could make it partially into the lift, but
I mean, I used dead sheep carcasses for this one, so I mean, what's a dead guy? Pretty much same thing.
you have to tell us how you have some interesting backstory.
Yeah,
Building
well, I
lifts
mean,
and
I'm
with
still
sheep.
alive, so it went well.
Sure.
Is that your measure for success?
Well, I mean, if you're alive, it had to have gone well, right?
What happens if you ended up, like, maimed or.
But you're alive.
But maimed?
But breathing. See? All good.
Yeah, it'll be fine, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe oh, what's his name?
Anyway, not much more we can do here, then, I guess.
Yeah.
A long walk back.
You should probably get on that.
I have
Yeah.
a feeling I would not be welcomed back in town. I'm happy enough to wait here for you all to return.
Hey, I have a question. So, like, this trail back, is it pretty like smooth going? Like, say if we got like, I don't know, a cart and some wheels, could we cut this distance down, get into the pit?
So
Or
your issue is going to be that either you go through a forest or through or down the cliffs, and like the forest path, you could use the cart up to the forest, but that's only gonna be like an hour or so that the cart is useful before you have to
Okay.
go on foot.
What about horses?
Horses, yeah, are more viable definitely. Like you could travel, so it'll take you about 3 hours to get from town to the entrance. And horses, you could go the whole way.
They could also be, if if we get a horse down here, they could also be part of the pulley system. They could pull us back up.
Getting a horse down here will take some doing, but it's not impossible.
I thought, well, if we do, that was just a thought. I'm not entirely confident we can, but if we manage it. Or we could just hire a really strong guy, and he could wait up, and like once we've built the pulley thing, he could wait up here, and he could pull us up.
Mm. See something.
I presume all this discussion can be had while we are walking hours back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I do also have like as like we're walking back or whatever, but like the necklace of the prayer bead necklace that we got
Yeah.
on our first day here does have wind walk that lasts for 8 hours that would give us a flying speed of 300 feet. Um,
One use.
one use. So if we ever
Okay,
just if we ever need a quick escape from this place,
that is very good to know.
although it does take a minute to cast, so maybe not like
Mm.
on the run quick, but
Mhm.
I also have planar ally, but you have to pay said ally 100 gold a minute or 1,000 gold an hour. I don't think we're ever going to be using that one. Maybe I should sell that bead to Cuthbert.
I mean, if we find something worse down here, we can maybe entreat its aid for a minute. A real last resort.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so we head back, Rob.
Yeah. I was just letting you guys chat it out. So, you head back into town. Takes you about 4.5 hours, but
And Mortimer refuses to leave.
He didn't refuse. He just said it wouldn't be a good idea, so he's just stuck around the pit.
Could we get you like come closer to town or anything like that?
I could certainly.
Is there something I could do to disguise him?
is there something you
In
can
a
do?
way.
Like, sure.
Like, is he falling apart dead? Does he smell terribly? Like, or is it like we
I
could
do
give
have
him a...
mushrooms going up my ass.
I mean, we could take those off.
You could do with a bath, to be honest. But
Right.
yeah, like I think he just more looks sunken and hollow than like visibly rotting.
Okay. So, like, a
Right,
real
you're right,
heavily
he
hooded
thinks
cloak,
that-
you might
What?
be able...
Sorry.
I was just saying he probably thinks like he looks deader than he actually looks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, well, the right application of some
He's-
cosmetics or something, or like a heavily hooded cloak, and you could probably pass in town.
He's got body dysmorphia. Oof.
See yourself out, sir.
Yeah. I knew that was gonna be bad before I said it,
You
but I
thought
was
my
proud
joke
of
was
myself
bad.
for thinking about it. So I just,
I mean, they were both bad.
That's fair. That's fair. Can't argue that. If you think it'll be effective, I'll certainly give it a shot. It has been a while since I've seen anything that wasn't dark and dreary and horrible.
It seems a little bit of a shame to leave you down here for 10 odd hours, at the very least, as we get back to town and then come back from town and everything in between. I imagine quite boring. You don't happen to have an account at the bank that you've left unattended for some time?
I'm afraid not.
Do they have interest rates?
You wouldn't be the first person to have found.
We did not stay long in the town during our first expedition.
Oh, you were. Oh, you were part of Tungsten's.
Yes, that is correct.
Do we tell him? Is it just a little? Is it just better? He doesn't know.
I think that's Mortimer's decision, not ours.
I mean, I was asking that out of kind of like in general.
You know, one of your buddies is alive, back in town, Tungsten
Alive
State.
is a subjective term.
No, okay, like with a beating heart and stuff.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were referring to telling Tungsten that Mortimer was alive. Sorry, I'm
I
thinking
was
the wrong.
telling you about Tungsten.
Yeah,
because you were making.
Did you not tell me that when I first woke up?
Oh,
Yeah, they did.
I just wanted to bring it up again because that might be the one. Like he might actually remember you. Like
Mhm.
if we go to Tungsten and he goes, "Oh, like you've brought an undead friend of mine along," like he might
We
have a
weren't
real
terribly
adverse
close.
emotional reaction to that.
We weren't terribly close. Not that we were enemies by any stretch of the imagination, but I was an outsider. He may feel some warmth, but I doubt he'd be crying his eyes out.
I mean, it might be some comfort that someone else besides him survived, even though both of you were changed by your ordeal.
I'll certainly pay him a visit.
Maybe gently introduce him to the fact that. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe gently.
Hey, I'm dead, but standing here in front of you, and I'm a symbol of your failure from a long time ago. But also, you left me down there, and it's been years. Like there could be some guilt and some emotions tangled up in all of that, and it's a bit of a complex issue. And I just
You don't want me to tell him like I would tell him.
yeah.
I don't do what I would do, she says to Mortimer.
I'm not going to smack him in the back of the head with a mace.
To be fair, it was the front of your face that I hit. The back of your head kind of caved in from the floor.
Okay.
From the
I mean, it's a fair observation.
Mortimer just nods.
Remember low profile, Mortimer, though. Like, the authorities might take issue, especially there's a lot of dead walking around recently, and they don't take very kindly to all of that. So, if you are going to make yourself known, a little subtlety.
I shall remain incognito for your safety.
And yours.
My safety doesn't matter that much anymore.
All right. I'll find you that cloak.
You've got a spare one.
I'm not giving him this magic hide cloak. You crazy?
Final form.
I mean, the other guy had a normal cloak on him, so you could grab that on the way out if you felt like it.
I mean, I feel walking into town with a cultist's cloak.
I mean, it's just a
Count
featureless
on.
black cloak. It's also probably burnt to shit, I suppose. So
Yes. We'll find him one. It's fine.
okay.
I will attempt to get to if we I don't know, which way are we going? Are we going out if we go out the forest way or something, I could ride Tala back to town before you guys find a cloak, come back out again,
yeah,
give it to Mortimer before he enters town.
that works. Cloaks
Cool.
can't be that expensive.
Nope, probably not. I will do that.
All right. So you sprint off ahead. Cloak is going to run you about 4 gold pieces.
Okay, I want one that like heavily comes down the front of the face.
Okay, yeah.
Ideally, like
It's like got an
real deep.
oversized hood. So
Yes.
it looks like a monk's cloak, where it kind of
Something like that.
an old
Yes.
English monk, where they had the cloak that hangs like right down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you guys are able to make it back to town, and although people give a couple of strange glances to the stranger, no one seems to see him for what he is.
Great. Are we going to go to our favorite patrons first? Get all our gold?
Sounds like a good idea.
Sweet.
Very well. On
To
Cuthbert's first? Is it?
Cuthbert.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you enter, you find Cuthbert, as he seemingly is very often, crawling on his hands and knees. Though this time he appears to be trying to catch something scuttling about on the floor. It looks like a beetle from what you can see, and he's got a jar and he's kind of trying to slam the jar down on it, but it keeps missing.
Was Cuthbert here when I was here 10 years ago? Or is he on you walking?
No, Cuthbert was not.
Okay.
You've never seen the magical Cuthbert before.
I'm going to go over to the beetle, and I'm going to try and use animal handling so that it'll climb up my arm.
Sure. Roll me an animal handling check.
So infrequently get to use animal handling. In my experience. 17. Nope,
17.
sorry. Add 5 onto that. 22.
Okay. So the beetle runs up your hand, seemingly seeing it not as a living predator due to the lack of heartbeat or something. And Cuthbert's big eyes look up at you. He's a tiefling, and he's got this kind of twisted teeth in the front of his mouth, like his canines are a little bit skewed. And he wears glasses that very much magnify the size of his eyes. And he says, "Oh, thank you very much, sir. Can I have that back, please?" And he like reaches up and grabs the beetle off your hand.
What do you need it for?
Experiments. and you see he's got like this kind of dappled green skin and these blue horns. He is reasonably handsome, as tieflings go, though he's a little bit eccentric for most people of Trunham's taste. He's just experiments and that sort of thing. Who are you? And he kind of looks up into your eyes, and his eyes go wide, and he sort of adjusts his glasses. Oh, very interesting.
Please
Kind of
don't
like
do that.
gets a little bit close. Oh, sorry. And you see him like kind of sidles over to his desk and pulls out a sketchbook and tries to like hide that he's drawing a picture of your face.
I pull my hood further down and step back to allow the others to engage with this person.
Hi guys.
Hello. Hello, Cuthbert. Would you mind keeping that sketch to yourself?
Of course.
At least until our business is dealt with here. He's and I kind of look to Mortimer, a modest individual.
Well, I've never seen a revenant before, so it's quite exciting.
Neither had we. He kind of like just takes it in his stride that he obviously knows because it's Cuthbert. I also don't
Upon
imagine
hearing him
many
say
people.
Revenant, Mortimer stops hiding himself because now he's like, okay, I don't need to hide now because he's already worked it out, so there's no point.
I don't imagine the rest of the townsfolk. Most of them will be quite as pleased as you, though.
No. They'll probably try and
No.
kill him.
As we thought.
As you tried.
I didn't
Hey.
try.
Can we like not bring that up like every 5 minutes? You
What-
kind of grabbed me and then threatened me. What was I supposed to do? Let you?
Mortimer has kind of a cheeky smile on his face.
Tanith does not get the joke.
Okay.
It's difficult because Mortimer doesn't have cheeks, like they're withered away.
Oh. Just smiles and his bottom jaw falls off.
Tanith may not appreciate jokes made at her expense.
That's fair.
Well, you have more mushrooms for me or something?
To start, these, and he'll go bottle. In like 4 or 5 jars, there are 13 glow mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly less mushroomy root this time. There's this, and he like pulls the bundle of hide. Kind of would like to know what this does before anyone wears it. There's that, and he points to like the scythe on the back of Rannog. And then there's also that, and he kind of like points to the other side of Rannog, and there is the helmeted horror's helm.
So he will say, well, for those mushrooms and things, 30 gold for the lot?
Does that seem in
I think
tracking with everything
that's
else?
roughly what you're paying. I think it's a very slight discount, but not much. You think he's saying that probably just to sort of, because there's more interesting things he wants to do.
Sure. So 30 gold, sorry.
Yeah.
For the lot. Sure.
Okay. And then he'll take the hide, kind of unravel it, and cast Identify. And he says, oh, none of you have attuned to this, have you?
No, thought it best not to.
You thought right. This is not a good item. I would like it very much, please.
It's because it smells, isn't it?
I would say the smell is more of a minor side effect to the otherwise potentially horrifying nature of this item.
What does it do?
Well, as far as I understand it, you can put on this cloak, and once you get to know it, you can transform yourself into a hellhound. Which is, could be useful. The only thing is there's a bit of a curse going on. If you use it too much, you could very well turn into a hellhound and never be able to turn back and sort of forget who you are and just think you're a hellhound and always have been and all that sort of thing. So, if that's kind of where your life's going, it could be a useful item. But
Hmm.
That's
Is
kind of
the-
where your life's going.
Is the curse something that can be removed, or is it intringent in the enchantment?
it's not intrinsic. I could potentially remove it.
Hellhounds, though? I mean, I don't have any formal training, but I presume those are bad.
Well, hell exists for a reason. Rather they guard hell, so a prison guard isn't as bad as the prisoners in the prison. Hellhounds are just like a big kind of horse-sized fire-breathing dog, and that's pretty cool, I think.
But you say you may well forget. While you're a hellhound, are you
Oh, you're totally
compos
normal
mentis?
when you're a hellhound. It's just, essentially what happens is, you get transform, and then once you use it too many times, you try and transform back, and it won't let you. And then, then if you stay as a hellhound forever, well, I think you got a few hours. You can maybe die. That would, if you died, it would probably stop you being a hellhound. But then, once you've been that way for a little while, maybe a day, things don't go so well, and you sort of forget your personality and that kind of thing.
Not that I'm like proposing that we like use it for ourselves or anything like that, but if I had the ability to remove curses, would that make it safer for you to experiment with, Cuthbert? Can you tell if the curse is gone?
Yeah, I could tell easily if the curse is gone. And if you remove the curse, I think the item would retain its abilities. So, could be a little big fire-breathing dog, never hurt no one. I mean, it hurts a lot of people, and that's sort of the point, I suppose. But, being able to become one, that probably never hurt anyone. Although I suppose you would only use it for a fight, in which case you probably would get hurt, so actually.
A lot more valuable without the curse on, I expect.
Yes. But, I mean, I could also remove the curse, so,
Oh, so you wouldn't like, give us more for it if I did it first?
No.
Well, how much do you want for
I
it?
guess he doesn't want it that bad then.
Your negotiating tactics are stellar, Ragnarok, but, well, I'd be willing to acquire it for 1,500 gold pieces. That's a good price. You can buy a lot of rope and blowing up things and mushrooms and bread.
Keeping an eye on us, have you?
Well, people talk. You've been buying lots of interesting things, and most people don't buy that many explosives. So word gets around.
How much has the economy changed in the last 10 years?
Well, in the last 10 years, I suppose, there's been a consistent average inflation rate of about 2.6%, which is average per capita for most of the wider kingdoms. But
I think people are
house
paying
prices
attention
in
to
the
us.
retail price index have gone up quite a lot, and that's sort of
Tanith raises her hand. You kind of cut him off.
yes.
I just wanted you to stop. That's all.
Oh, sorry, I'm an amateur economist. You understand?
It's almost like you're an accountant.
I have often felt like there's a big accountant out there just watching over me.
Oh, it's not here.
That's quite a considerable amount of money.
Yes, I'm very
and-
rich.
Do you have any other Ooh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, he says that, and I kind of just eye him for a second. Like, can I insight that? Like, he's in a shop full of mostly mushrooms and scattered pieces of paper and
Yeah.
beetles.
Yeah. Make an insight check.
Like, how much money? Like, was he born into this, or is this like him just as an accountant saying he has amount of money for being around here or something? It's hard to suss him out sometimes. That was a half decent roll, 17.
Okay, so from what you know of Cuthbert and what you can see of his shop, firstly, like, he does do a lot of the weird shit, but also, like, he has a lot of cash cows, like little protective trinkets and charms and home remedies and that sort of thing that sell really well. So he does have, like, a flourishing business. Also, he does have a lot of really nice clothes that have been very much not taken care of, and some of them are a little, like, worn and that sort of thing. So you get the impression he was born into money and is doing, like, reasonably well for himself with his shop. So you get the impression you certainly don't think it's a big leap to assume that he's wealthy. You just think he's a
Okay.
bit of a nutter.
Sure. Eccentric, as the Terry Pratchett quote goes.
Yeah.
If you're mad with money.
And
Okay.
also, yeah, he's never, like, whenever he's pulled out money to pay you for stuff, like, you've seen he has a fair amount just lying around and, you know, probably not quite enough protection. And he's also very clearly had an expensive magical education, so...
Very well. Okay. That just had. I will change my image of him slightly.
He started his company with a small loan of 1 million gold.
Sure.
Hey, haven't heard that line in a while.
Do you have anything else like a like magic quality of similar value?
Like for a trade?
Maybe? Yes.
Maybe yes, is my answer.
We've only really like seen like your smaller stuff because at the time we didn't have, you know, the funds for anything more.
Sure,
Yeah.
I've got a lot of little...
Sorry. Tanith is kind of like having a blue screen moment, trying to talk fancy like Ava and fail horribly.
So what kind of thing are you interested in?
I don't. It's just kind of, you know, it's kind of a group thing. What do you have that, you know, someone might be interested in? I don't. What do you have?
Well, I've got a gem of seeing, ghost lanterns. I've got some magic horseshoes. I've got some interesting masks. I've got all sorts of things, really. Some different robes, like ones that give you resistances, and I don't. Do you want me to get every single item I have out and show you? Because that's going to take a while, and I have a business to run and beetles to catch.
Yeah.
How about just 3,000 gold? There we go.
Well, I said, I don't know if you must have heard, I said 1,500 was like...
Oh,
what,
I heard you. 3,000 gold. You know you want it.
I have been perfectly cordial in all of my negotiations
You know
with you,
what?
and this is...
I'll give you a deal. How about 2,500 gold?
Oh, that's not a deal. That's still paying over the odds, sir.
2,400 gold.
gives like
I don't hear a no.
no is the answer.
Oh, come on, work with me a little bit. Can't do 1,500.
Well, you could have 1,500 or nothing because no one else is gonna buy this off you.
I'm sure someone would. You're inclined and want it enough that it's got to be someone else. How about 1,500 and one of your items? You know, little bit of gold, little bit of trade.
I suppose I could do that, but it wouldn't be a nice item. One of my small ones, maybe.
That would be nice.
Well, okay. Since that's the way it's going to be, I suppose.
Can I insight check him right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure he's not like really upset because we've always like just kind of like taken him at face value. Oh, that's a 14.
He's a little bit offended, to be honest.
Oh,
Not he's not upset, but he's just a bit like,
I thought we were friends.
Yeah, he's like regarding you guys as friends because you're the only ones who don't cringe when he talks to him, and he's kind of like,
Orcish bartering, sorry.
you know what, Cuthbert, it's fine. 1,500's fine. We were just, getting ready to. We found like this pit in the temple, and we were just trying to be as prepared as possible. That kind of thing. 1,500.
We have lost victory in the sale. I'm gonna put my head down a little bit.
Oh.
I'm sorry, father. He just commits seppuku. A pit? What kind of pit? He looks much more interested. All offense completely forgotten.
Called the fall.
Yeah, the fall, at least 400 or 500 feet down. And since we weren't sure of how we were going to get back up, we wanted to make sure we had everything we needed that we could possibly need before we went and explored it.
Oh, well, that's very interesting to me, actually. Because I could maybe help you.
You can.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Well, have you ever heard of spider climb?
Yes. When spiders climb on a wall.
Yes. Well, I could maybe brew up a potion that would give you guys that ability.
How long would the
All of
potion
us?
last?
Well, I could do enough
It
for all
wouldn't
of you.
like turn us into a spider, right? Because I really don't.
No,
like
it wouldn't
spider.
turn you into a spider. I mean, I have potion for that as well.
No.
Actually, I have a potion for spiders, beetles. I could turn you into a beetle. I could turn you into a frog, a goose. I've been trying to work on a lizard one, but I just keep making feathers instead of scales.
Interesting.
Anyway, so
The spider climbing spider potion is a very niche potion.
I
It's a
could-
spider that just climbs
It's-
on other spiders.
it's not as niche as the non-spider climbing spider potion, which is a spider that can't stick to walls, and that's just not very helpful to anyone.
Not really, no.
How long do those potions last? Like Lenore said.
Oh, those potions, they last about an hour a dose.
How many doses could you give us?
Well, it depends. How big a batch would you want?
We need to be able to get down and get back up, so at least 2 apiece.
If not more, if we have to return to town. Unless you've got like a way of us returning to town quickly.
Like teleportation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. I have a teleportation circle in the back. So if someone knew that spell. You could teleport
Spells
back.
are probably a bit beyond us for now. What were you gonna say, Dan? Sorry. It.
Sorry. Like being from the capital and doing what I do, I presume I'm familiar with teleportation circles.
Yeah.
Is it quite surprising that some dude in this kind of backwater just has one in his back room?
So it kind of is, but also Cuthbert is actually a very accomplished wizard.
Mhm.
So you could you don't think it's beyond his skill level to have created one,
No.
but it is like you wouldn't expect, knowing what you know of Trunham, to find one, but knowing what you know of Cuthbert, it doesn't surprise you, if that makes sense.
Sure. So yeah, his eyebrow would just quirk.
I mean, I suppose I could. I don't really have anything that could help you utilize it, though. That's the only problem.
Well, I mean, how many doses of the spider climb potion can you get then?
He kind of rubs his temple for a moment and then flips open his notebook and kind of does some sums. He says, uh, he says, well, I could do maybe 10, 15 doses in a night, but they'll cost you. They're not cheap to make.
How much?
Well, normally I would sell something like that for about 250 gold a piece. But I mean, if you're buying lots, because you guys are my friends, I could discount a bit.
Tanith smiles. It looks a little stiff because of the scar on one side of her face.
Suppose if you if you give me the hide,
Mm-hmm.
I could do you 10 of those potions. 2 each.
That's 1 dose apiece.
That'd be
No,
that's 2 doses each.
2 doses each, so we'd be able to get up and down once.
Yeah, so that's what I meant. Is like each vial was one.
Oh yeah.
Was
Yeah.
one.
Well, for an hour. It's an hour of spider climb. So you don't have to
we
drink
kind
it.
of we kind of assume there'll be some, and we could always try to make the climb down manually and save it, and just use it for the trip back up. But that's that's $2,500 worth of potions he's offering, so that's a pretty good discount.
Yeah. I say we take it.
Just
Mhm.
in enable. Sorry, I just have to pause every 3 words to cough. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I've been there, buddy.
In Evor's mind, if we were to do the Rannoch pulley plan thing, that couldn't cost anywhere near 1.5k gold, could it?
So true.
Ropes and wood, and even if you got a trained team of people to come in there and install the damn thing, it still shouldn't cost that much.
I would also say, it's
500
500 feet down, and if you walk 30 feet around, that's a minute and a half.
Yeah, everyone would have to be dashing.
Well, no, but a minute and a half, each potion gives you an hour of spider climb.
Sure, but once you get down there, we're probably going to be down there for more than an hour.
I mean, you don't have to quaff the whole potion in one go.
Oh.
So you essentially, the way we can do it is you guys have 2 hours of spider climb.
In total, right, okay.
Yeah, and you can
think normally you would drink a potion and it's gone for an hour and it's gone. That's how I was thinking of it. But if you want to play it the other way that we have,
I think just because I've put this big obstacle in front of you, I'm happy to.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we don't need two. We probably don't need two lots of it.
Just to be safe.
All of us needs 2 hours worth for something the trip that might take a minute and a half. One way.
Well, I mean, in case we have to do multiple descents in there.
Okay.
Well, I could also say give you 5 of those potions and 5 other potions, or 5 of those and half the gold. I'd be okay with that.
What's half the
750 gold.
750? What other potions do you have? Just so we have full understanding
Well, there's
of what
healing
you have.
potions. Got potions of turning into different animals, as I described.
Mm-hmm.
I got. Let me see here. Got potion of resistances. I got some potions. Ooh, I got this potion that gives you some psychic damage abilities for a little bit.
What?
Hmm?
Interesting. How does that work?
So you take it and it sort of turns your mind into a weapon.
It's like the LA Noir Doubt X appearing over Tan's head. But okay, what else?
What else? Oh, well, on the more pricey, those are kind of cheaper potions, those ones mostly. There's some potions of like that'll help you sneak. Potions that'll protect you from evil and good and things. Like some ones that'll cure poisons, keep disease, make it harder to hit you, give you some magic armor. Ones that'll let you smell animals.
What? I can already do that.
Yeah, but really well. Ones that'll let you breathe fire, or ice, or like goo. Got ones that'll make it look like you're dead, but you're not dead. Those are fun. You just like go to your mum's house, drink one, collapse, and then she's like, "Oh my god!" And then ones that'll turn you invisible. I got some things you can put on your weapon to make it magic. Ones that'll let you shoot fire. Ones that can make it so that you have to tell the truth. You can't lie. Those are pretty fun. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hmm. So, like, do we want asking the group? Do we want to do 5 and then we all pick
Mhm.
a potion, or do we want 5 and then the money?
I'd say, I don't know, 5 and a
We should
potion.
probably get money so in case we think of other things we need to get, get some backup cash.
Okay, so that's a vote for potion, vote for cash. Avel, Mortimer, what do you think?
I think Aval's more inclined for the money.
Mortimer's more inclined for the potions because money means nothing to him anymore.
And the potions
Oh,
are very
such an
expensive.
edgelord.
Well, I mean,
Oh, so that makes me the tiebreaker.
You planned this.
I think the money, as our funds have been My funds are low. I don't know about everybody else's.
I mean, you
My
can
funds are
spend
low.
some of that money on potions as well.
Yes, we could.
If you want like a potion to turn into a beetle. And that one, I guarantee you, works well.
I think it sounds like everybody wants the money.
Can I insight him with that and then look at the beetle he just caught?
You may.
Is that interrupt?
Do. Insight. 14 this time.
So, you see him kind of glance at the beetle when he says it, and as you look, the jar of the beetle is sitting on top of like an open notebook, and the beetle seems to be reading the notes.
Cuthbert,
Yes.
is that interrupt?
It's what interrupt.
The beetle.
Oh yes, it is. He came over and he had some he had some tomato juice because he always drinks tomato juice in the morning, and so I just put
I
some
do
in there
that like
today.
white guy disbelief blinking thing.
Yeah.
Blink, blink, blink.
I know exactly what you're referring to.
Yeah.
A white guy blinking.
Yeah,
Meme. Yeah.
It looks like Carrie Always, but it's not Carrie Always.
yeah, he does a bit. And he says, yeah, so I sprinkled it into his tomato juice and he drank it and he's a beetle now.
He's going to not be a beetle at some point.
Probably.
Don't lose him.
He's what's in the jar.
It wasn't when we came in, but okay.
Well, okay, that's a fair point, but
Tanith is gonna like bend down and like look at the beetle through the jar.
raises one leg.
She kind of waggles a finger. It's like, you okay? Wave once for yes, twice for no.
Waves once.
Okay.
Yeah, we do this kind of thing all the time.
Okay. As long as you're both in on it.
We are consenting adults.
Oh boy.
Whatever
Happens behind closed doors.
whatever rustles your jimmies, I guess.
What is my what?
Rustles your jimmies?
It's just
Who's
let,
doing
let it go.
I think it's a cleric thing. He like leans into.
Is that not something that people say?
Not anymore.
I think we're taking it from a D&D like medieval perspective rather than.
The idioms of 10 years have changed.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, boomer.
Floaty boat.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, she went there.
Fucking. That's
Can-
funny.
You
Said
do
that to the youngest member of the party. Like,
Yeah, but he's
as a
playing,
person, I know.
playing a centuries old.
I'm the youngest member of the party. As a
He's not.
person,
Mm.
You're the GM, you don't count.
I said
I
of the
suppose.
party,
I suppose.
not of the game, but yeah. Also, I thought he was centuries old, but he's not, right?
Oh
He's
yeah,
just.
he's still older than
No, he's
Tanith
like
by a
45.
lot.
Yeah.
He's like older than Tanith by a large margin.
I mean, he looks
I like-
unbelievably old.
Yeah. He's
He's
been
actually
dead.
like-
He's been dead for a decade.
Can
Before that, he was X.
He is a baby boomer age, and Tanith is
He
Gen
might-
X age.
He could literally.
that
he
is
could
the
literally.
joke.
He could literally be 30. Like it depends how old he was when he went in, which is a down to.
No,
Oh.
he's but like that time is still added on. But yeah, okay, yeah,
It's
fine.
10 years, so.
He's a millennial. She's a Gen X. She called him. a
Oh
boomer.
my god.
Who cares? It was a joke.
Oh.
See what happens when you
Everybody
have to explain your jokes?
Yeah.
It hurts, doesn't it?
Aw. I'm sorry.
Right. I know Andrew needs to get out of here soon, so let's close up our business.
Okay.
Are you guys buying anything else from Cuthbert?
Could I point to the helm that we never got round to
Oh, yes.
discussing?
Is that just
I-
a helm?
It was very big, like bigger than Rannoch. I called
the
I called
helm?
it a helm. No, no, the helm is here. The helm was being worn. I say
By something that was
figuratively,
bigger than Rannoch. I see.
but by a smoke monster wearing an armor piece larger than Rannoch. I, if you extrapolate from this helm, it is obviously
Right.
too
Yes,
big for
that
one
is
of
quite
us.
big.
And yes, it's a helmed horror. I have named it. It floated, as well as walked, and
What did it look like?
well, that was kind of its face, and then there was black smoke. Or at least that was its head. I
Oh.
don't think it really cared. It was mostly black smoke and armor, and seemed to have a thing against those of a magical persuasion.
Well, there's not much magic left in this helm, so it's limited use to me, to be honest. But I'll take it off your hands for a couple gold.
Go to the blacksmith. Maybe he could use it for materials.
That's a thought. I
That's probably a
just
better
it was
use
an
for
interest. It was an interesting find. Don't often find a 10-foot tall spiky piece
No,
of
that's fascinating. And I mean,
armor.
if you could have brought the whole creature alive back, then I would be very interested. But
Alive would have been incredibly difficult.
well, I would have paid you
Dead?
incredibly well. So I mean, that's just if you come across any other gigantic things, and you can bring
Absolutely.
them
The next one we find, we will try to capture and bring to you.
thousands of gold.
Do you have anything that would make carrying such a big thing easier?
Turn it into a beetle.
Turn it into a beetle.
Force feed it. Wouldn't have worked on this though. I wouldn't imagine.
Probably not. No.
Is there a save involved in turning something into a beetle? Or does it happen no matter what?
There is a save.
Damn. Okay. This is all like all of a sudden them beetle potions sound hella useful if we could just
Here, horrible queen, drink this.
We bring
We just like bust into the tomb covered head to toe in jars and we're just throwing them everywhere. All directions.
just like
Yeah.
one gets away, and then just like 4 hours later, just like a giant just appears in the center
like
of
the-
town.
It's like that one like mini story and like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs of like the guy covered in pots and pans for his like armor. He's covered in fucking
Yeah, if you don't want to hit your beetle armored character, because if you smash one of the jars, it releases some ungodly monster on you, or goose, or spider,
Okay, anyways. So he's not interested in the
feathery
helm.
lizard.
Sure. Also this nice scythe, but I presume also not your thing. So,
Yeah.
well, I guess we know where we're going next.
All right. Well, thanks for your
Five
patronage.
potion of spider climb, 750 gold.
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cuthbert. Thank
My
you, Cuthbert.
pleasure. Thank you for your patronage. I value you as customers. Looks down at his notebook, and I hope to see you again.
Please be careful with the cloak. We'd rather see you next time than a hellhound. And
Don't-
also not to hear that there has been one running around town.
Don't you worry about that, though. I'm gonna get that curse right out of it, and then I'm gonna turn
We'd,
into a hellhound a lot.
We'd probably have to come after you.
You could try.
Cuthbert? Do you want me to
Cuthbert?
Yeah.
take care of the curse now?
Well, I could do it, but if you would rather do it yourself, then sure.
That way, you know,
We can do it together if you like.
don't have.
No.
Sure.
That's a wee bit too intimate, man. Come on.
Oh, these things work better in pairs.
That was definitely out of
That's
character. don't
true.
worry.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do it together. I actually have that spell prepared.
Oh, excellent. And he'll like roll out the thing and place 2 hands on it, and you can place your hands on it, and together you cast a spell.
Yeah. Remove curse.
Yeah, and so while yours is like this, holy experience, he is just like drawing. You haven't seen him cast many like actual spells, a couple cantrips here and there. He's like rattling off words that have no meaning to any of you incredibly fast in like what seems to be a very complex spell, and you see his like fingers drawing markings on kind of in the air just above the hide, and there's
I'm
this like
curious. The words he says, are they still with a lisp, or does he speak clearly when
they are s-
incanting
they are s-
arcane language?
they are still lisped.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he's not like
If
and
but
so
often too.
Sometimes, when people
got
sing,
him,
they don't
Leviosa.
stutter
Yeah, yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
why it's like a therapy thing for people with the lisp is singing.
yeah.
Um,
But his is a
That
physical.
explains so much.
It is a physical thing.
It's a
yeah,
physical.
I know.
Like,
I was just
malformity
curious.
as well. Yeah, that's an interesting question. And yeah, and you see this like bluish green light, and he's making these very like complicated sort of magic circles and pentagrams and all that sort of thing. Everything's like a calculation.
And Tanith prays.
It's like, oh, big silver lizard guy, fucking get rid of this thing for me, Yetches.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Tanith Brain's like, I can't imagine it's very flowery language. Hey,
No, it's
I'm
like, you know, it's in.
got a
It's
curse
like,
here.
oh, yeah. There's like, this thing's real bad. Can you do something about it and make it not so bad?
I'm crying. Oh,
Because,
sorry.
like, no, because you know Cuthbert's gonna play with it recklessly, and I want to make sure that he doesn't turn into a smelly brimstone dog. Thanks, Bahamut. That'd be great.
And the combination of yours and Cuthbert's efforts render this thing entirely safe. Probably.
Woo!
I mean, Cuthbert, now has the ability to turn into a hellhound whenever he wants. He'll probably just make a potion that does that. Extracted from this cloak, but there you go.
Hey, Cuthbert.
Yes.
We didn't ask around, but was there any undead excursions last night or
No,
this morning?
it's been none in a couple of days.
Well, job's done. We can go home.
Oh,
Absolutely
home.
not.
No,
Oh.
no, we're still not done. She was
Sorry.
making a joke.
I'm not very good at jokes.
Neither am I. Well, see, the problem is with you. You don't make jokes.
I've been making jokes. Don't you worry.
But yeah,
You were
I
leaving?
was. No, we're not done yet.
Oh, sorry. I meant.
Oh, you mean the shop? Yeah, okay. And Tana says embarrassed. Yeah, we were leaving. I thought you meant the town.
I hope you don't leave the town, because you guys bring me a lot of interesting things.
I don't know if I have the heart to break it to him. No.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you guys later, my friends. I very much enjoyed getting to know you. I'm so glad you're here now.
Of course, Cuthbert, enter Rob, and I do like a little bow salute thing to them both, and leave. And I hope the beetle returns it.
Yeah, of course. Like
Good.
the full spinning hand bow.
Yes, exactly. So, do we?
Tungsten?
Yeah, hit up the blacksmith really quickly, and then we wrap up, or
Yeah, I think so.
if interest to go, cool.
So you guys speed over to Tungsten's, and he's there working, and you see like all the weapons and armor that were kind of hanging around that he'd made are all now imbued with runes and various magic. And he kind of looks up at you guys as you approach and says, "Aha, good to see you."
Does he recognize Mortimer? 23 insight.
It doesn't look like it. But I imagine Mortimer's kind of staying back. Hood.
Yeah, he's
Hood
exactly.
down.
He's staying back. He's got the hood fully up, fully down, all the gimmicks.
Okay.
Tungsten, you have a thing for metal and a little bit of a thing for making it magic. We fought something that
Right.
was effectively that. Only a 10-foot tall suit of armor that tried to kill anything with magic. And he like points to the helmet on Rannoch. We bought a piece of it. There's still a fair bit of it down there. It was kind of filled with black smoke that when we killed it, and he uses like quotation marks, that all went away. Thought you might like to see it?
Yeah. And you're like, we'll take the helmet if you hand it to him. This is good metal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No?
You okay, Tungsten? Did he have a stroke?
No.
I poke him.
Hello.
Hi.
Did I
think I
go
can
away
hear
for a
you.
second or something?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, you did.
I said he takes the helmet, kind of like looks over it, and says, "Oh, this is good metal."
That's good to hear. It took a reasonable beating. We put quite a lot of holes in the breastplate, but you know the gauntlets and the greaves and stuff, and
Yeah.
this helmet are not too bad.
I'd be happy to take whatever you want to bring. I still owe you a weapon as well, Eval.
I know. It, I did note that it was a little bit more. It didn't. It was a little bit more difficult to put this, and he kind of like does that sort of swish swish and guard kind of thing through its hide. It was a little bit resistant. This helmeted horror. I was always more of a bowman, but the arrows would have done even less.
Well, I mean, I could do you arrowheads if you fancy.
I think I wouldn't mind another sword
All right.
if this is going to become a thing. If they are too tough for mere steel, and he's still like doing the whole Zorro guard thing, like. Do you have what you need? And he kind of like knocks on the helmeted horror.
Yeah, I think that'll be big enough to make a rapier. Definitely.
We'll try to bring you back some other stuff
I'd be interested.
if we get the chance. What's it worth to you?
Well, depends on the size, but the metal itself, I'll gladly pay 10 gold or so a pound. It's good stuff, hard to find.
And that makes that helmet worth how much?
I need to do some googling.
Also, like per pound, this thing is a 10-foot like because a breast, like plate mail or something is 55 pounds worth of metal.
Yeah.
And that's for a normal 6-foot sized person, not a 10-foot tall
Yeah. So
behemoth.
yeah, it's going to be about £100 of metal.
In total.
Yeah, so you can get about £1,000 off of it. Well, I'll pay about 80 gold for this, but I mean, I could do your rapier out of it if you want.
That would look kind of cool. A black metal rapier.
I did seem to kind of take magic or be resistant to it, right? He's like turning to the other people who were casting magic. It didn't seem to.
Yeah, it didn't like fireball, and it didn't like or not didn't like. but my guiding bolt did nothing.
I mean, but was that the creature or the metal?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm willing to find out. Do you think you could, if it has those kinds of properties, or you could instill something like that into the blade, maybe?
Give it a go.
Something anti-magic? That would be pretty cool.
All right. Well,
So you said the whole horror is probably worth about $1,000.
mhm.
And this helmet is about 80 of that, 80
Yeah,
gold.
but I mean, he's not going to pay for it if you want your rapier made out of it.
Now, the rapier favor was for getting his hammer.
I suppose, but I mean, he's not going to... That's a bit shitty to sell him metal just to make you a free thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have to go get his hammer back.
I mean, he didn't have to make you all those
maybe-
things anyway.
Maybe Dan, since you're giving him this metal for to make the rapier out of, maybe you'll get that special thing that you just asked for. Maybe.
Maybe.
Because
I mean, he'll buy it off you if you want your rapier made out of something else.
He can take the helmet. That's fine. And he can try and make a blade out of it. That's fine. I was just...
I mean, I get what Dan's driving at. None of us had to pay.
It does make sense, but like...
You guys also don't have anything special about your weapon other than the fact that it's magical.
I thought everyone did. That's why I asked for a quality. Like, Rannoch gets his axes back or something, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
Rannoch's
And
got
I
chains.
thought Lenore's thing did something. Or
What
was
is-
I wrong?
Yeah.
I think it's just +1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is
Yeah, I
plus
think
one,
yours
and
and your shield does something. I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
But
you
she
just
could
gave
attack with
me-
it.
Yeah.
You gave me
Oh,
a
yeah,
bonus.
yeah.
Sorry, I thought everyone had a quality to it, and I thought giving him this metal might suggest a
Well,
cool quality to my weapon. But
If he makes it out of this metal, it will have the qualities of the metal and whatever magical quality he imbues with it.
sure, okay,
So
that's what I was going for.
yeah,
Um,
so it will be better than the others
Because
if you give him
he
this
wasn't.
metal.
worth the wait, maybe.
Mhm.
We'll see what we can do about the rest of it.
So, about a lift, can you build one of those, like a mining lift?
Oh, are we not using the?
I mean, I'm just asking how
Okay.
how much it might cost.
I have no idea how that works.
Okay.
I make swords,
Okay, good,
And
good
horseshoes.
to know. Good to know.
armor sometimes.
Never had to craft a pulley or anyone for like a construction team here.
I mean the fishermen just abseil down the cliff. They don't use pulleys or anything. So
Sure, but if someone's building a building, no one's ever had to take something from the ground and lift it up
I mean,
higher.
they might have done. I've never been involved.
Okay, we can look elsewhere. That's fine.
Sorry.
Not a problem. Everyone has their, skills,
Well,
talents.
it's good talking to you guys, and just want to thank you again for the hammer.
Don't worry about it. We all do what we can.
Has Mortimer had like any kind of reaction to seeing tungsten?
Not that you
Like-
can see unless you roll insight on it. Because he's.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Because Tanith is super paranoid. That's a 21 plus 7 for 28. No, wait. 21 plus 7. Yeah, 28.
Mm-hmm.
You beat me anyway. He seems to be keeping sort of himself to himself, but there's definitely a recognition there, and almost you feel like he really wants to say you've really changed over 10 years, but he can't give away his thing. So I think a lot of his emotions are being kept in, but there's definitely a recollection there that hits closer to home than you would have thought from what he said earlier.
Okay, cool. So you weren't lying to us about who you were and who you are. I don't trust you anymore, Liam. And also, for good reasons, Tanith is also very mistrusting. So,
It's fine.
so far, Mortimer's story is lining up with what she's been seeing.
Long con.
And I think that's where we'll call it a night.